Hello, Collective. Welcome back. This is Intuitive Tarot. Thank you guys for joining me. This is a general love reading. This reading is going to be for my water signs. I do have to go back, I think, on my other page and do a water sign love reading over there. I think I only did air, earth, and fire, I think. I'm not certain, but I may have to go back over and check that out. But I do have the other zodiac, you know what I'm saying, the other groups done on Divine Eyed Mystic Tarot on that page, on that channel. If you want to go check that reading out, if you're a cross watcher or if you are any one of the signs, you know, of air, fire, earth, and water. Like I said, I don't think I did, but this love reading is going to be for my water signs, all right? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So this could be high vibrational, low vibrational. This could be placements in your chart. You know, for a lot of you, it could be cross-watching for water sign. All right. This could be, if you're cross-watching, this could have something to do with you. So take it how it resonates. All right. Or like I said, it could be a placement in your chart as well. Let's go with the first card that came out. You got divine timing. Everything has a higher purpose. It came out, the same card came out for the air sign love reading that I just did. All right. So everything comes, you know, at a higher purpose. Has a higher purpose. All right. That card is clarified by dedication. So it's the time, the essence, you know what I'm saying? Stay dedicated to your goals, efforts that will reap success. So whatever it is that's coming towards you is coming in divine timing. So keep moving forward. Keep doing what you're doing. Even if it feels like whatever you're praying about, whatever you're manifesting right now, whatever your hopes and desires are, it may seem like it's coming in slow or not, like it's not being heard. It's coming. Just keep working toward, you know, whatever your goal is. Whatever you're doing to get to that goal, keep doing it. Regardless of, like, if you feel as though, oh, you know, I feel like I might be doing this for no reason. You know, this may not even be worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? Where is this going to get me? Keep going. Because if the Most High God feel like you're going to give up just because you feel like ain't something happening right now, then you probably give up on that person, that job, that goal in a heartbeat. And he want to see how bad you want it. If you really want it that way, you're going to have to keep working. And when you get where you're going with this goal, you're going to have to keep working. You're not going to be able to lessen the load or lighten, you know what I'm saying, the duties or what's expected of you. You're not going to be able to shave off some of that expectation to get to these goals. In order to get to these goals, you're going to have to keep going at the rate you're going. Just keep going, all right? Everything is going to happen, you know, in divine timing, you know what I'm saying, as a higher, you know what I'm saying? Everything has a higher purpose. You know what I'm saying? This is about you thinking and doing things from your higher self, not that low vibrational, let's get it quick done, let's get it done quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's get rich quick scheme. This ain't that. I mean, this is a new thing, a new time, a new era for you. All right? But with dedication, everything is going to come at the time it's supposed to come. But the minute you decide you're going to give up, you ain't seeing the results, or you're not seeing, you know, the purpose in it, or, you know, man, they seem like they don't care, so I'm going to give up. If you're going to give up on them already, it's already over. You know what I'm saying? But the goal you have in mind is worth the work. It's worth it. All right. Next card, release. Also came out in my air sign reading. So some of you could be dealing with a water sign. An air sign, water sign. So it may not be for everybody. But release. Especially them things that don't serve you when it comes to releasing grudges, wounds, whether they childhood wounds, whether they past relationship baggage wounds, you know, things like that. Things somebody may have done to you that, you know, was unnecessary, wasn't called for, or was, you know, just hurtful. You know what I'm saying? Whether they said something that hurt your feelings, whether it came out wrong, whatever the case may be. Release those grudges, those wounds, those pent up feelings through healthy activities. You know what I'm saying? Find the positive things, you know, that helps elevate them moments, that way of thinking for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't go toward not negative, low vibrational ass folks from the past, you know, that will entertain this bullshit here. with the things you need to release. There's some people probably in a lot of your water signs energy that would entertain some bullshit in a heartbeat. And they won't have no logic in none of that shit. They just gonna entertain it because you brought it to them. Now, if you act on it, that's them same people gonna say, well, shit, you should have known. You know what I'm saying? We were just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? You mature. You're a grown ass man. You're a grown ass woman. You should have known not to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? If that ain't what you wanted to do. But it's clarified by overcoming obstacles. Overcoming obstacles. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the things that may have, drowned out a situation, a connection, be what hinders you. You know what I'm saying? Get back on your feet. Gain strength from difficult situations. Let whatever it is that you having to release, let those things that wounded you, that hurt your feelings, let those things that were said, that needed to be said, let it hurt. It hurts. The truth is going to hurt. It's going to do all that. But it makes the person that told you the truth that much more worthy of being listened to. Same as you. No one person's, situation or, concern is more important than the other one. If you're dealing with, people you love, whether it's family, a job, a lover. But overcoming obstacles is, allowing whatever happened to strengthen you, not wear you down or tear you down. You know what I'm saying? Because some things that, you need to see about yourself, some of the things you need to experience, you're going to have to go, experience it by dealing with certain people. It's not their fault you experienced it with them, but that was the assignment. Don't hold them, you know what I'm saying? Don't hold a knife to their throat, because they wounded you. You know what I'm saying? They hurt you in some way. You know what I'm saying? Or you hurt somebody's feelings in some way. You know what I'm saying? Or you got some grudges. I'm going to do this, I'm going to be like this with them because they was like this with me. They shouldn't have been like that. They shouldn't have said that like this. You know what I'm saying? So I said what I said. If we're going to keep that going, we ain't healing. We just keeping some bullshit going, a cycle going that really ain't helping and hindering. It ain't helping in connection. Even if you did reconcile, it's still going to be in the back of your mind, that person's mind that, that I'm still pissed with them about that. You know what I'm saying? Not looking at the logic behind it or why it upset them enough to, say it or do it or it present it to you the way they did to where it hurt your feelings. Because some hurt people. That's what I need to say. All right? But overcoming obstacles, get back on your feet. Gain strength. Okay? Gain happiness, gain strength when it comes to difficult situations. Not everything that you got to, all the goals you got in mind to get where you're going, they're not going to be easy. You're going to have to deal with some people that you really rather not deal with. But sometimes, if you're going to buy that land, if you're going to buy that house, if you're going to go that route, you're going to be dealing with some people and, that you just rather not deal with. But you have to. You know what I'm saying? You can avoid certain things when it comes to certain goals, but others you can't. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be facing challenge with them obstacles all the time. So you might as well get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's protecting your person, and the connection you have, you're always going to be that protector. You don't get to take a day off. Okay? Next card is peace. Peace and contentment are coming to you. The card that clarified this card is evaluation. Feed on what doesn't serve you. Feed out what doesn't serve you. Reevaluate the situation. That's when that peace happens. When you can feed out what doesn't serve you. I don't need to be this way. I don't have to be this way. I don't need those kind of friends. I don't need that kind of company. I don't need to have that kind of mindset. I don't need to have that kind of action toward a person. I could just leave. You know what I'm saying? I could just walk away. I could write a note. I could, bring it to them in a much, respectful way. You know what I'm saying? Or I can show them a more respectful way of doing something, than the way they did it. You know what I'm saying? And we can help each other, help heal each other. We can help keep, whatever it is when it comes to love, because this is a love reading. It can involve your job. It can involve a coworker, a close friend. You know what I'm saying? Somebody you no longer talk to after a while. You know what I'm saying? This could be friends or somebody you held close to your heart. Could be a family member as well. You know what I'm saying? But peace is contentment. Peace and contentment is coming to you. It's coming. But it's going to, have you at a point where at this point you need to evaluate the situation, reevaluate that motherfucker if you got to. You know what I'm saying? To find better solutions. You know what I'm saying? And other things that, helps you to rectify the situation without it, being messy and dramatic and chaotic. You know what I'm saying? And it's a get back moment, you know what I'm saying? A back and forth situation. So feed out what doesn't serve you. If it's not coming from your higher self, it ain't gonna mean you acting on it. If it's giving ratchet, what you doing it for? Don't do it. You know how it look when somebody else do it, it's gonna look the same way when you do it. You know what I'm saying? Just take the high road. You know what I'm saying? But reevaluate the situation. Look at it from another person's standpoint. Look at it from 3 or 4 damn different standpoints if you got to. But don't let it fall in the, in the laundry basket with some dirty, low down shit. Okay? But at the bottom of the deck, you got energy activation and happiness. So connect to the divine through meditation and prayer. So when it comes to, your energy activation, when it comes to you wanting your energy cleansed, when it comes to you wanting things to be resolved, make sure you doing your meditation, have that one-on-one with the Most High, about whatever your situation is. Whatever it is that you need some clarity on, whatever it is you feel like you need to vent about, go to the Most High God in prayer. That's the best way to resolve and talk and not have to worry about being judged, but you will be held accountable, for what it is your goals are and what you plan on doing to get to them. And if it's people in the way, if it's things that is outdated beliefs and things like that, water signs that is going to hinder that process you have or that goal you got in mind or those goals that you have in mind, if there's some low vibrational things about you that may hinder that, then tell the Most High God what it is and what you need this help in. Ask your angelic angels what you need their help in. Releasing. I need you to help me release this animosity, this envy, this jealousy, this, intimidation I have about somebody, or the aggression that I have towards them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to deal with that or match their energy, when that's not what they deserve. Maybe they've been through some things. I've been through some things. I know what they can feel like. But allow me to release and help me to release those things that may have hurt me in the past from other connections, other people, so that I can be there for this person and they can be there for me. You get what I'm saying? If you don't, shit, it ain't for you. Anyway, next card that came out, I could be talking to a star seed. One of my water signs could be a star seed, a person you may be thinking of, or whoever this, reading could be putting you in the mind of, that could be a star seed. All right? You age like fine wine, so this could be somebody, water sign, that you feel like, don't look their age. Man or woman. Alright? You age like fine wine. Or you feel like somebody does. So whoever this person is that comes to mind for you, you may feel like they don't look their age. Man or woman. Alright? Black don't crack. Just had to put that out there. Okay. Next card, check your apartment for cameras. So water signs, that may not be for everybody, but the card did come out. Okay, so somebody needs to check their apartment for cameras. Whether this is you, what I'm saying, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or somebody in your energy that may be coming to mind for you, they need to check their apartment for cameras. One of you need to check your apartment for cameras. All right, maybe for somebody in particular, maybe for a few of you. All right, so take it how it resonates. May have to look up, where some cameras may be. Some of them been found in some people's smoke alarms. Some of them been found in people's shower heads, in light fixtures, in their bathroom, overhead lights and things like that. So look up and look into it. Research where some cameras can be placed in your apartment, because a lot of these apartments is rental, rent based. You know what I'm saying? You're renting them, you're not owning them. So maintenance can come in and put something in there way before you move in. You know what I'm saying? You never know what apartment owners, is up to, or maintenance guys when they coming in and out of your apartment, whether you there. I know one girl said she had a deadbolt lock on her apartment door that had like a cover that you can turn it to where it's a universal lock, where the maintenance guy would have a key to go into any apartment, because they would change the keyhole, adjustment. They can adjust the keyhole to the deadbolt to fit their key, not just the key that they gave you for your apartment. So when she came home, she noticed that, the back plate of her deadbolt, the face of her deadbolt had been moved. Like she, was wondering like why it looked so different. So she, you know, turned it. She touched it, moved it around, and it actually moved. And the face of it was able, to rotate or whatever. And so she rotated it and tried to put her key in, and it didn't go. But she rotated it back to the one that she normally sees, and her key was able to actually fit it. So she realized then that somebody had been in her apartment while she was gone. And she hadn't too long moved into the apartment. So maintenance or somebody was watching when she left, and they went in to time it just right for her not to be there when they did that. Plus, they didn't give a notice of letting, her know that they would be coming in her unit, to do anything. So she was not expecting that lock to look like that. So check your apartment for cameras. You know what I'm saying? Because maintenance will go in. These days, people will hire anybody to do maintenance. Some of them live on your property with you. Got a wife, got family, and some more shit, and they still gonna put something in there they feel like they want to watch you off of for whatever reason, especially if you live alone. You don't, at this point here, you don't have to live by yourself. If they want to watch and look and be nosy, they will. You know what I'm saying? And when people be in a lot of situations, that they don't know they in or being targeted in, you be surprised how people find out, that they being watched for, whatever reason. Because they feel like they ain't doing anything. Alright, but at the bottom of the deck, you got the 4 wands, the justice, the lovers, and the 5 of wands to the chariot. So this could be involving, possibly a connection, a marriage, or something like that with the justice right behind it. That somebody could be, going through some type of court thing or something like this. It could have some type of judgment being called in this marriage or something like that. With this 4 wands at the bottom of the deck, and it don't have to be, but it's given like, possibly some type of, celebration or something like that, where somebody's, getting that stability, they got where they going, they overcame a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? They may have beat a court case, right, at this point. And it could be involving, them, taking some accountability in a situation or a connection, when it comes to a lover situation or a lover they were dealing with, or this is you. But this 5 of wands is giving, somebody that is battling, some type of dispute, some back and forth, some chaos or something like that may have possibly been going on, or is going to go on. Like, let's just say with this 4 wands, it's a marriage here, and it could be, a connection that, results in a marriage. All right. This marriage or this, union could be somebody that, is taking, responsibility for a situation, when it comes to the person or you being a person. All right. Water sign. But it's also going to cause some type of uproar or chaos or some type of dispute. When you do it, you probably are preparing yourself, for having to deal with that. Especially if it's dealing with people, that is in disagreement of you being with someone that they don't like, or somebody else that is not liking the fact that you may be walking away from them to go towards somebody else. All right. You may be ending something with another person, and looking back at something, it's like the cause and effect, like taking the accountability, like whatever you saw something as. Like, I seen myself marrying this person, but there may have been some things that played out or came up that didn't cause that to be something that you could say actually made it to that goal. You know what I'm saying? Even if that was your goal or their goal, it may have, marriage may have been the goal for somebody, but it may not have made it to that, by way of, with this justice card out here, it could have been, something that came up like a court case. Don't have to be. It could have been something that needed to be rectified. You know what I'm saying? Re-evaluated. Re-look at that situation. If something had the potential to be a marriage or something like that, or something committed, then maybe, that job or that connection or something like that, had some things going on that was not very healthy at all, and it may have needed, more of your attention than you were willing to give. All right, but it also may have, the cause and effect of whatever this is, like understanding what led to this. How did this happen? You know what I'm saying? And knowing that your part in it, does matter. All right, especially when it comes to a lover situation with the lovers at the bottom of the deck. All right, but like I said, you could be dealing with a star seed. You could be the star seed. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to see what I want to clarify first, because I feel like it doesn't really need any clarity right now as far as like what came to mind when I was, presenting the cards to you, water signs. So clarify overcoming obstacles. And this is just my water signs. Clarify overcoming obstacles. Yeah. Gain strength in difficult situations. Clarify overcoming obstacles. What are some of the obstacles you need to overcome? Clarify overcoming obstacles. And this is just my water signs. Clarify overcoming obstacles. What is this overcoming obstacles about? Clarify overcoming obstacles. This is just my water signs. Some of these obstacles you need to overcome. What are the obstacles pertaining to? You got the Eight of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag. Got the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Whatever these obstacles is, it may have been something that may have caused you to move at a slow pace. Eight of Wands in reverse. Also, like I said, it could be with somebody possibly going at a like going with the flow of something, but taking their time. And like I said, you could have possibly been dealing with a connection already that was maybe had that trickle down effect of like it was ending or something was moving slow or stagnant or something like that. And it could have been somebody like moving at a slow pace coming towards, or you were moving at a slow pace to come towards somebody or something like that. But whatever the case may have been, it may have been like, to go toward this Ten of Cups. You know what I'm saying? With somebody faithful, trustworthy, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So you may have been taking, some time, going with the flow. You may have been trying to wait something out. You know what I'm saying? Either in this a previous connection, or something you were trying to, wait and see what the outcome would be, or letting something be the reason why it took you a while to, go towards something with somebody. I don't know if you intentionally slowed something down or made something slow down or something like that. Especially with this release. Grudges, wounds, and past, pent up feelings through healthy activity. So when it comes to whatever these, wounds is that you need to release, let go of, whatever, your feelings got hurt about, or however, whatever, this was, whatever was said, or done, whatever grudges, whatever it is that keeps coming back up, or that you feel, that you holding against this person, they holding against you, you find it something to hold against them, you need to release that. But it may have been something that you would, it was causing you to move slow, at a slow pace. Maybe you were moving too slow with something, you know what I'm saying? And it may have been some things that you were trying to see, how they were going to go, and how, it would turn out, or something like that. And you may have invested too much time in letting that be, something that slowed something down. It could have been a process. It could have been something that got some delays. You could have been going with the flow of something, the way it was going, like letting something play out. You know what I'm saying? Or like trying to wait something out. Like, it could be a divorce for some of you, or somebody in particular. Like, I'm just trying to get through this situation, clear my name in this situation, get that out my way, you know what I'm saying? Get that out my, rear view, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have to keep looking back at this person, blowing me up, or, whatever the case may be with this Eight of Wands, because it's slow pace. It's something that slows somebody down. Clarify this Eight of Wands in reverse. And this could be one of them obstacles that, may have slowed you down, and may have, made you, have to regroup, recoup from whatever this loss was. It may have been some things that came up that kind of slowed you down on your coming forward, or moving forward in another connection, or moving forward to somebody else, giving them, a sound or some type of commitment. What's the Eight of Wands in reverse about? Overcoming obstacles. What's the Eight of Wands in reverse? What's the Eight of Wands in reverse? Clarify the Eight of Wands in reverse. And something could have been moving slow because of the distance or something like that, or could have just been going with the flow or something like that, because of, maybe some distance was involved or something like that. What's the Eight of Wands in reverse? Clarify the Eight of Wands. Try this 2 minutes, but I'm going to keep them. You got the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse, Three of Swords, and you got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Whatever this is, it could have been somebody, you were involved with before, whoever this jealous, envious person is, that is spiteful, vengeful as fuck, that, you may be separating from, or went through some type of heartbreak with. Maybe this was somebody from your past that was like this, very controlling or something like that, easily triggered or some shit like that. But this Two of Pentacles is giving somebody that, just could not, get their balance, or somebody just, could not get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they were like juggling, at the time, trying to make a decision. And this may have been somebody that was very indecisive, but this is you. Not being sure, about how something or where something would go, especially if something in the past, kind of wounded you and put you in a bad, spirit, or, left a bad taste in your mouth when it came to, commitment. You know what I'm saying? And it came to loving and opening your heart, with chances of you possibly, having to deal with a separation, or the fact that, it may have been something that, somebody else, may have played a part in from the past. Like, if it was some old connection or something like that was still lingering in your energy, water sign, that, may have still been pulling at your heart, or may have, still kind of triggered you in some ways, when it came to moving forward, or being in any other serious commitments and things like that, opening your heart up to that, being emotionally unavailable. For some of you, that's what it was. Like, but it came from somewhere. The root of that was, it started somewhere at some point in your life, not at a time when you met whoever this person is that came to mind. They may have triggered that, but it was the root of it started somewhere else with somebody else. And it was never healed. It was never confronted. It was never resolved. But it's like almost, having to deal with that and still be with somebody new and having to deal with them on a whole, on a different level, but they not being dealt with on a different level. If you move on to somebody new, it's new things and new situations that's going to rise. But if you haven't got over the old ones, if you haven't resolved them, came face to face with them, accepted, it didn't work out. I did some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? If I run into them again, I'm gonna let them know, what, was my fault. You know what I'm saying? Not on the terms of me getting back with them, but because I want them to know, I done matured enough to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? And at this point in time, you got a lot of men, water signs, women, water signs that will own up to their bullshit. Because that was a time that learned them a lot of lessons. Like we said, with Gen X people, we done seen, the world around us way before technology just took off. So there's a lot of things that we had to use our intuition and discernment about, even, being younger, because we didn't have the advancement we have now to know, digging and searching and looking and finding. Some of the stuff we had to find out was through, other people. And that meant conversing and getting out there and mingling and stuff like that. You didn't, and sometimes it would just come to you, but drama, has a way of finding you if it's in your energy, to come up. And if not, you'll be around people that have it going on and you'll get front row seats to it. But right now you got like a Queen of Wands in reverse that, is heartbroken, possibly because somebody was indecisive, you know what I'm saying? Or then not knowing. Or there could be a separation from a Queen of Wands because this is, somebody in the past was indecisive, like they didn't know where they wanted to be. They may have been juggling, and took a loss. You know what I'm saying? They may have, lost out and missed an opportunity because they may have spent too much time, dealing with somebody that, was probably trying to hold on to you or something like that. All right, but let's see what's at the bottom of this deck. You got the 6 of Wands. See, whatever it was that was supposed to gain a victory actually was a loss. And whatever it was, it may have knocked you off your square. But it's, use that situation or whatever was going on, to strengthen, you moving forward and not letting that letting that happen again. You got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse at the bottom of the deck with the 6 of Pentacles. Clarify this 2 of Pentacles in reverse. What's that 2 of Pentacles in reverse about? That's just for my water signs. What's that 2 of Pentacles in reverse about? Clarify the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. This is just for my water signs. What's the 2 of Pentacles in reverse? What's the 2 of Pentacles in reverse? What is that about? Two of Pentacles in reverse. Why the Two of Pentacles in reverse for my water signs? Why is that out here? That's it, child. They don't want to give me that. But what I'm getting off of that is that, somebody was indecisive. Like they couldn't have, could have been juggling, you know what I'm saying, and not getting them that juggling two people trying to figure out who was who and what to expect from who, you know what I'm saying, didn't get somebody anywhere. It just maybe caused a separation and somebody else's heart to be broken, and somebody, that over somebody that they may have been, that was spiteful and envious and all that I feel like somebody may have played a part in another person, making the wrong decision. But at the same time, you may have put somebody in a competition with somebody that wasn't really somebody that could compare to the person you put them in competition with. And this person may have been somebody very vengeful, spiteful, you know what I'm saying, and just wanted to take their time, like by giving you a divorce or giving you, the green light to go ahead. They may have been trying to find things to keep you around, trying to, bring more responsibility or something like that on you to keep you around and things like that, all because they didn't want to, prolonging what was going to happen, you know what I'm saying? And that may have caused you to move slow towards somebody else and ended out this cycle with this person, to move on and clear them out your energy and get them out your life. But they may have been trying to, do things, to probably make you procrastinate, keep you around a little longer to slow you down from moving on. And I feel like that's what caused, some of you water signs, and somebody in particular, from, making a deadline and making, being decisive about what you needed to do. And you may have been trying to juggle two people, not purposely then, but it may have been something you may have felt like you had a lot of control over and you really didn't, because somebody else was trying to manipulate that timeline that you were on or in with them. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting off of it. How would this person know that needs to check the apartment for cameras? How would they know if this is them? How would they know if this is them that need to check the apartment for these cameras? How would they know if this is for them? How would they know if this is for them? How would my water signs know if this is for them that need to check the apartment for these cameras? How would they know if this is for them? You got the Two of Swords. And you got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the bed. As an empath, you probably already feel like, you kind of sense that it's something that somebody not you probably sense something, but it's something that you blinded to. I feel like somebody either, I don't know if you question somebody about it already and they just trying to keep you in the dark about what's going on with this Two of Swords, because this Two of Swords is giving me like somebody, because you can see the person blindfolded, but them swords is communication. So it's like something, is being intercepted. Like it's something, it could be, somebody that, may have put you in a third party, or you may be in a third party situation, where it's you and it's possibly somebody maybe that you are with that, you questioning whether, how they know certain things, or if they, how they, because the Two of Swords talks about somebody withholding information, like something is hidden, You know, it could be some communication that's being hidden as to, you know, these cameras, as to why these cameras is in there. But it could be, you know, the fact that somebody is trying to keep, you know, another person, you know, from seeing something because they trying to get some answers, or they trying to keep somebody, you know, at a crossroads is what I'm getting. It's like somebody trying to, you know, keep whatever they doing it for from coming out. Especially if this is somebody that you're walking away from. But I feel like this, as an empath, somebody knows, you know what I'm saying? This could be, this Queen of Cups can be like a mother, could be a sister, could be a friend, but it's like, you know, somebody knows. Like you can feel it. You probably can feel like you're being watched. Right behind this is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands in the upright is somebody that's a protector, but in reverse, this is somebody that's reckless. And if for some of you, it could be somebody, you know, that is, you know, planting cameras and stuff like that to watch the other person, mainly because, you know, they, you know what I'm saying, trying to have some control over what's going on, especially if they feel like it's something they're not seeing. They feel like there's something else going on, like they don't know if you with somebody else, or they think you got somebody else over there or something like that. Especially if they feel like you walking away and you leaving them behind, or you know, changing up how you feel about them, or they trying to get some kind of evidence. What's this Two of Swords? Could be an air sign as well. What's this Two of Swords that you're dealing with? Or this is a water sign dealing with a low vibrational air sign. Don't have to be. It could be a low vibrational Aries, Leo, Sage too. But this is, you know, your energy. This Two of Swords. What's this Two of Swords? How else would they know if this is for them? How else would they know? The Two of Swords. How else would they know if this is for them to check for these cameras? How else would they know? How else would they know if this is for them, with this Two of Swords? How else would they know if this is for them with these cameras, with the Two of Swords? How else would they know if this is for them? Yeah, you got the Ace of Wands with the Magician at the bottom of the deck. Because somebody doing something underhanded, like on some trickery, some fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Somebody on some, you know, low vibrational shit right now. Like they in a low vibrational moment, era. However you want to call it. But it's like somebody feels like there's a lack of passion there that somebody has for them now. So it's like, if this person don't want to be with me, and they, you know what I'm saying, ain't with me, and they, you know what I'm saying, they ain't feeling me, they don't want me like that, you know what I'm saying, it must be something else they got going on, or something else they doing, or they ain't into me, so it must be somebody else. All right. Could be a fire sign, but in all things, like I said, energy activation, like talk to the Most High God, you know what I'm saying? Connect with your spirit team and talk, you know what I'm saying, openly, you know, when it comes to the things that you feel like, you know, you need answers about, but connect to the divine through that meditation and prayer. The next card behind that is happiness. New discoveries that lead to celebrations. Love yourself first. Page of Wands, you know what I'm saying? This could be about a twin flame, what I said. But there may be a hint of deception, you know, that somebody, you know, got going on that they don't want you to see. It's like somebody trying to taint the waters, you know what I'm saying? Or you may have a hint of deception that you got going on coming towards somebody else. But, you know, either way, there's a Queen of Cups out here showed up. So, I mean, when you're dealing with an empath and you're dealing with possibly a water sign, or a water barrier or something like that, water signs. And if you got, um, air in your chart somewhere, you're dealing with an air sign, it could be any fucking sign. What I'm saying is, don't play on somebody's empathic, gifts. You know what I'm saying? Don't play on nobody's intuition. The worst thing you can do is play on somebody's top. You know what I'm saying? Don't play on nobody's intuition, because it'll make a fool out of you every damn time. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a feminine. So when they know what they know, they may not tell you what they know. They may just act on what they know and take their ass on. That's not for everybody. But that's the peacefulest way and the healthiest way to do and handle something, because most people do, they say they don't want drama, but they'll be the first ones to give you that, you know what I'm saying, to cuss your ass out. You know what I'm saying? That'll be their first go-to. The last thing they're going to do is, think from their higher self at that time, depending on what it is that, got them to that point. They, you know what I'm saying? So we can say we're going to do something and we done heal from this, but it shows in your behavior. It shows in the way you handle something. You know what I'm saying? And people are quick to call you immature because you had to get down with them. You know what I'm saying? You had to, you know what I'm saying, cut some shit off and put somebody in their place. But there's a respectful way to do something, and some people just don't want you to do it that way because they're too busy trying to make you look out to be somebody that don't know how to control yourself. You know what I'm saying? But with the magician at the bottom of the deck and the high priestess, what did I say? Somebody is like on some fuckery and doing some fuck shit, but as an empath, a queen of cups already know. Somebody already know that somebody gonna possibly want to watch them and do something, or try to put something in there, come by their crib or something like that, want to put something in there. Or it's the fact that somebody, is curious. If they ain't talking to you, you ain't talking to them. They feel like if you ain't, busting them down, you must have somebody else over there. You must have somebody else in mind. Let me see. Let me fuck around and find out. Whatever. All right. But I'm going to end it here. My water signs, hopefully this message, this little reading helps in some way, shape, form, or fashion. For those of you that are single, and those of you that are married, those of you that are in a separation, take the reading how it resonates. All right, whatever part. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. This is Intuitive Tarot. Until next time, those of you that genuinely love me, I love you. Bye.